With Xander Kyriakis, Paul Telfer, and Sarah Horton, Lindsay Godfrey, at last making amends, Days of Our Lives offers viewers what they desire. At the moment, Xander is going to anger management therapy. However, the question still stands as Sarah mulls over whether couples therapy could save their relationship. Will Xander concur, or is he still too furious to dedicate himself to further therapy? Days of Our Lives. The path to reconciliation for Xander and Sarah things are progressing more quickly toward reconciliation after months of being apart. Xander took Sarah's apology for pressuring Philip Kyriakis, John Paul Lavoisier, to confess to his assault during their daughter Victoria's second birthday celebration. Philip and Xander have both insisted that Xander did not assault Philip, a claim that appears to be gaining support. However, Xander might be worried that consenting to Marlena Evans, Deidre Hall, marriage counseling with Sarah will reveal the truth about Philip's attack and his frequent deception of her. Although there will likely be obstacles in the way, this moment, which Xarah fans have been waiting for, represents a possible reunion. When Sarah misrepresented Philip's fake letter about Victor Kyriakis, John Aniston estate, Xander became enraged. Xander saw it as a betrayal, but Sarah had her reasons. When Sarah started to believe that Xander had brutally abused his brother Philip, the situation became more heated. On duo, brothers bonded by deceit and lies, as everyone knows, Philip is filling in for Xander. The Kyriakis brothers, who have now connected themselves through falsehoods regarding the assault and forgery, are now protected in both directions. Sarah expressed regret for incorrectly blaming Xander, even though he and Philip had lied to her directly. Since Xander is guilty of attacking Philip, viewers are aware that he and Philip are deceiving and gaslighting Sarah. Sarah has been seen becoming more receptive to her estranged spouse now that she is forced to acknowledge Xander's alleged innocence. She has noticed a shift in Xander and is pleased with the strides he has made in his anger management treatment with Marlena. Even though Titan is under a lot of stress due to the Dimura lawsuit, Xander is showing great growth by actively controlling his anger and restraining himself from rage by using the breathing techniques Marlena taught him. At first, Sarah had asked that Xander learn to control his anger because she was worried that it would have a detrimental effect on Victoria's life on Days of Our Lives. As a bad illustration of emotional instability rather than because of actual danger. For Xander, Marlena's treatment seems to be working. How Xander will respond when Sarah suggests couples counseling with Marlena is now the key question. Will he be amenable to it, possibly bringing their family back together? Or might it make their problems worse? Our Lives. Sarah and Xander's days remaining determined. Sarah and Xander are still wearing their wedding bands. Additionally, Sarah was apprehensive when Marlena asked if Xander would be interested in attending marital therapy. Their rings allude to enduring love and a possible future. Couples therapy excites Sarah. However, Xander's consent is necessary. Given that they both felt deceived by the other, this might be advantageous for both of them. The main barrier is still Xander's persistent fabrication about attacking Philip, which his brother is also spreading. But according to a trustworthy source, Philip will be essential to getting Xander and Sarah back together. Ironically, Xander has been able to get Sarah to apologize for her false claim because of their common lie about the assault. Our Lives. Sarah waits for a response, though it's feasible that Xander and Philip may carry this secret into the afterlife. This could prove to be a major obstacle if the truth is ever revealed. Xander is thinking about marital therapy, according to our source, who also said he will respond to Sarah before the end of the week. He might just say yes, or he might agree with the stipulation that the Philip assault event not be brought up during therapy. Xander is probably harboring a fib if he declines couples counseling. If Sarah finds out that Xander lied about beating Philip, she will be extremely offended and upset because she will realize she was correct all along. Will Xander come clean on Days of Our Lives? Since dishonesty and betrayal were the main reasons for their breakup, Xander must be forthright and honest with Xarah in order to have a real fresh start. The main query still stands. Will Xander acknowledge viciously assaulting his brother Philip? Kate Roberts, Lauren Koslow, would surely be happy to see Xander face further legal consequences. Philip, however, claimed that a random stranger had assaulted him after his incarceration, which at first infuriated Kate and Xarah. As a result, charges were dropped. Xarah thought Xander was guilty until lately. However, she has since been persuaded to change her mind. Nobody is likely to change Kate's mind. Will Xander confess if they continue couples treatment, or will the assault be the reason he stays away from therapy for the time being? In any case, even if Kate and Xarah may say otherwise, Philip is not likely to file charges. Xarah doesn't think Xander's possible arrest is the problem. However, after feeling deceived by her own dishonesty, he may have been lying to her face, or he may have completed the act. The problem is complicated. However, according to our insider, Philip will aggressively work to rebuild their marriage, and Xarah should be back together by the holidays. We will have to wait and see if the solution to their reunion lies in Philip's influence, counseling, or a mix of the two. Days of Our Lives has always thrived on complex romances, tortured pasts, and the thin line between love and heartbreak. Few couples embody that better than Xander Kyriakis and Xarah Horton, lovingly dubbed Xarah by fans. Their roller coaster journey has spanned weddings, betrayals, heartbreak, and even faked deaths. Now, with therapy sessions putting them face to face, fans are asking the ultimate question. Could Xander and Xarah finally find their way back to each other? The wounded hearts of Xander and Xarah. When we first met Xander, he was a schemer, a bad boy whose charm often covered his insecurities. He's made a lifetime of mistakes, lies, manipulations, and some truly unforgivable actions. Yet with Xarah, he found a kind of grounding. She saw through his bravado and touched the vulnerable man hiding beneath. Xarah Horton, by contrast, has always been the intelligent, compassionate doctor, the woman who wanted love but struggled with betrayal. Her relationship with Xander was fiery but fragile, collapsing under the weight of deception. Still, every stolen glance and lingering spark between them proved that their love never truly died. Now both carry emotional scars. Therapy has become the battleground where the unspoken truths, regrets, and hopes of Xarah are being pulled out into the open. Therapy, a stage for truth. Soap opera therapy sessions often serve as confessionals, and for Xander and Xarah, they're no different. Their scenes are tense, emotional, and brutally honest. Xander fights to explain himself, trying to prove he's no longer the ruthless man he once was. Xarah, meanwhile, struggles with trust, asking herself if she can ever believe in his redemption. These therapy moments expose their deepest fears. For Xander, the terror of losing Xarah forever because of his own sins. For Xarah, the fear of repeating a cycle of hurt by letting him back into her life. The therapist, often a neutral observer, has become the audience surrogate, pushing them to be honest while refusing to let either one retreat behind their defenses. It's raw television at its finest, and it keeps fans hooked. Xarah's shared history. A love that won't die. Revisiting their history is essential. Therapy forces them to unpack the greatest wounds of their relationship. The baby switch. Xander's role in the cruel baby swap storyline still haunts them. Xarah's grief over her child was one of the most devastating arcs in recent memory. His part in that deception continues to hang over their heads. Broken trust. Every time Xarah has given her heart, Xander's mistakes pulled the rug out from under her. Yet, paradoxically, those very betrayals also led to some of the most intense reconciliations. Unshakable chemistry. No matter how far apart they drift, there's always an undeniable pull. Every argument simmers with passion, every moment of forgiveness sparked hope. This history is both their curse and their compass. It's what could destroy them or guide them home. Fans divided. Should they reunite? The soap fandom is buzzing. Some fans argue that Xander has grown. That therapy is proof he's working to become a better man for Xarah. Others insist Xarah deserves someone stable, someone who won't constantly drag her into chaos. Yet most agree on one thing: their chemistry is electric. Whether you root for or against Xarah, their scenes together are must-watch TV. Even in moments of rage or sorrow, the emotional intensity between them radiates across the screen. What reunion could look like? If the writers choose to steer Xander and Xarah back together, it won't be quick or easy. A true Xarah reunion would require layers of rebuilding. Accountability. Xander must continue proving he's changed through actions, not just words. Forgiveness. Xarah has to decide if letting go of past wounds is possible without losing herself. Partnership. The two must find a way to build a healthier dynamic, one based on honesty rather than secrets. Such a reunion would be bittersweet. The heartbreak of their past would color every tender moment. But for fans, watching them rebuild brick by brick would be deeply rewarding. Obstacles on the road. Of course, this is Days of Our Lives, where happiness rarely comes without complications. Several hurdles could derail a Xarah reunion. Old habits. Can Xander truly resist falling back into dangerous schemes when tempted? Love rivals. Xarah's suitors and Xander's entanglements are sure to complicate matters. Family ties. The Horton family may never fully forgive Xander, creating strain. Lingering trauma. The baby swap storyline left a scar that may never truly heal. These obstacles ensure that even if they reunite, their love story will remain a constant test. Why fans still hope? Why do so many viewers root for a Xarah reunion despite the pain? It's because their love is messy, flawed, and painfully real. Unlike perfect soap couples, Xander and Xarah represent what happens when two broken people try to heal together. Their story resonates because it reflects both the risks and the rewards of giving love a second chance. Fans want to believe that redemption is possible, that love can overcome even the deepest betrayals. Xander and Xarah's potential reunion symbolizes that fragile hope. The future of Xarah. So, will therapy lead to reconciliation? The beauty of Days is that nothing is certain. Therapy might be the spark that reignites their romance, or it could be the clarity Xarah needs to finally walk away. Still, all signs suggest that the writers aren't done exploring this dynamic. Whether it ends in reconciliation, friendship, or fresh heartbreak, the Xarah storyline will continue to pull at heartstrings. Final thoughts. The Xarah question. The therapy drama between Xander and Xarah has reignited fan passion for one of Salem's most complicated couples. Their journey reminds us that love isn't just about grand gestures. It's about facing wounds, taking responsibility, and choosing vulnerability again and again. Whether or not they reunite, Xander and Xarah's sessions have already given fans a gift. Raw, emotional storytelling that captures the very essence of what keeps soap operas alive decade after decade. Will therapy heal them or expose wounds too deep to close? That's the question driving fans to tune in tomorrow and every day after.